with a different point of view. And when we look at that, it's very easy to look at it and then say, oh, that's very simple to do. I can do it, no problem. And it's easy to decide at any time of the day, week, month, year, to say, okay, I'm going to take myself up on this and look at things differently than I'm used to doing. However, just simply saying yes to it can be challenging, because it is challenging to incorporate that into our everyday life. My reason for saying this is that because when we make a decision to look at life in a different point of view, it actually means yes to life and yes to change. And we know that change is constant. Therefore, this would be an admirable quality for any one of us to undertake at any time, because this would be on an ongoing basis. Just thinking about that, I mean, it's like, am I ready to do this every day for the rest of my life? So being a responsible, loving person, we then realize that we may or may not be willing to look at ourselves, to really take a look at ourselves honestly and work on any issues that we may still be hanging on to. Issues we may be hanging on to. That's sort of like extremely challenging, and some of us don't want to look at those things. And by doing so, we actually learn about our inner qualities, qualities that we actually have had all along and that are within us, that can help ignite us and manifest the gifts that we have been blessed with. So when you look at the outcome and the things that you will find out about yourself in the long run, why wouldn't we want to take this challenge? Why wouldn't we want to move forward on our spiritual path and learn to really know ourselves? That to me sounds like an adventure. Seems sort of challenging, quite challenging, but we can all do it. And we can do it because we actually have all the help around us that we need. All we have to do is ask. So one of the ways that we began on this path is we spend time in silence. Silence is the most wonderful thing that we can use. We have meditation and we have prayer. I believe it's very important to create a very positive, stable foundation that will help us move forward on this path. Looking at life in a different point of view, which means change. Catherine Ponder has a book, something about prayer. And in there, she talks about the prayer of cleansing. And this is also something that we have been taught in the principles course here at the chapel. And that is a very important part of us that we really ought to look into. One of the first things that she talks about in the steps of cleansing is the power of no. And that seems very simple. And basically what it means, especially during this time of all these things that are happening outside of ourselves, the no power of prayer is often known as denial. It is very important because when fears come into our lives, we know that we are not created for fear and that we must firmly say no to fear. An example of this is saying, no, I do not accept that diagnosis. No, I do not accept those limitations in my life. And so therefore, just by saying no to any limitations, will take care of any fears, and it invokes the prayer of cleansing. It starts you on that path to cleansing yourself. The next prayer is a prayer of release. It lets us let go and let God. Practicing renunciation or release, especially in human relations, frees us from people whose burdens we should not even be carrying around with us anyway. That's a lot in that one sentence that, we go around life and we sometimes don't even realize that we're carrying not only our own stuff, but other people within ourselves. So by letting go of trying to possess or cling to another person's life, one is now able to use the energy on ourselves. So rather than trying to possess another person's thoughts or feelings, it is time to look at ourselves and say, I freely and fully release you. I let you go and I let God have his way with you for your highest good. The next prayer is a prayer of forgiveness. Forgiveness for oneself, our fellow men, any experiences or unhappiness in our past, present, or any false ideas that we may have accumulated within ourselves. Forgiveness dissolves whatever stands in between you and your good, as it cleanses you, your mind, your body, and your relationships. It frees us from any mistakes, past or present. Forgiveness is truly healing, prosperous, and harmonious to us. So let go and let God. I freely and fully forgive myself and lose myself to my highest good. She also states that fasting is a wonderful way to overcome some of our own problems, that by fasting, this intensifies our prayer consciousness. And for some of us that are not used to doing that, it's like, I wonder if I can do that. And I know I can, because as I stated, we all have all this help around us. All we have to do is ask. God is in absolute control of this situation and is producing perfect results in this matter right now. And the last thing she talks about is the vacuum power. And this is something we have also talked about in our principles course. And since nature abhors a vacuum, it's time to get rid of what we no longer want to make room for what we want. I fully and freely release. I loose and let go. I joyously make way for the new good, which now appears quickly in satisfying appropriate form in my life. So by using the prayers of cleansing, we can let go of fear. Excuse me. We can release people, places, things that are no longer needed in our life, and make room for the wonderful happiness that is in store for us. By forgiving ourselves and others, we become free of unhappy experiences of past or present. And by letting go of things that no longer are valuable to us, we make way for our highest good. This becomes a constant purification and cleansing part of our lives. It enables us to make the changes that one desires to manifest our highest good and to live with a different point of view. And by doing so, we maintain change, and we thereby ignite our unique, wonderful blessings and behold our highest good. So I think this is one challenge that we should all really look at and consider seriously, because this is our path to our highest good. And I live that with you. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, Ernestina. That was wonderful. I have everybody on mute, just so you know. You guys can take yourselves off. Okay, so now's the time we normally do our love offering for the service. And we will place it between our hands and give it a blessing before we do. All that's on Zoom, I think I've got everybody explain this too. You can donate on unitedfellowshipchapel.org on the donate tab. Thank you. As we, Mother, Father, God, as we hold between our hands that which you have ignited, we give to the source that what you have given to put into the work and love for those we meet on our path of unfoldment and for the functioning of this abode you have placed in our hands and put into effect the law of tenfold return to those who give freely and from the heart. Amen. Anyone here, you can go ahead and do that. Give it a moment there.
Thank you.
All right. And now's the time we would, let's get you unmuted here. Now's the time we'll greet each other just for a moment here, just to say hello. And I'll turn everything around so everybody can see each other, except for Ernestina. You might want to come on over and say hello. There you go.
Hello, hello.
Me. Hi.
There's Ed at the bottom there. There you are. Hello.
What are you talking about?
You're always in the dark.
There you go.
Hi, everybody.
Hello. You shy people today.
Right.
So now's the time for our mediums to give messages. When the messenger asks for your permission to come to you, your clear and strong voice says yes, which links your guides and your higher selves with the medium. Our first medium is going to be Christy. All of our mediums, by the way, will all do 3. Okay, thank you. Come on up over here, Christy. You can see everybody on the screen.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, I don't see names. I do know Ed. I know Michael. Oh, there are the names.
Carolyn, Deb. Okay. Hi,
Hi,
Rena.
Pam.
Yeah, okay.
This is
Andrea.
Mhm.
Okay. Michael, may I come to you?
Yes, please.
So, Michael, I'm seeing behind and around you, except in the front, some spirit guidance, and it looks to me like it's a very comforting spirit. It really holds you in safety, and I haven't seen this before in you. I'm sure it's been there, but I'm just seeing it now for the first time. And so it lets you know that, in case you were wondering, you are really safe, you are guided, and you are on the right path, because this power that's there for you wouldn't let you stray. It always keeps you safe and peaceful and headed in the right direction. And I leave that with you.
Oh, he's on mute. You're on mute.
So you're on mute, but I think you said thank you.
Well, thank you. I can now stop sleeping with one eye open.
Oh. Okay. So, Angie, may I come to you?
Yes, thank you.
So, as always, what comes from you is generosity and playfulness, and the beautiful spirit that lives inside of this chosen body. And you give off such joy, and I see that you're going to feel very comfortable and more peaceful in your new place. A sense of belonging and being in the right place at the right time, as in that house, as well as, of course, in the chapel and in Tucson. And I leave that with you.
Thank you.
Ernestina, may I come to you?
Oh, yes, welcome.
So, Ernestina, I feel from you today a new clarity and a new strength, and a sense of stepping forward feeling your power. I see that around you and I hear it in your voice. And it is a joy. It's a joy for you to experience and for all of us. And I celebrate you in that. I leave that with you.
Thank you, Christy. Our next medium will be Reverend David.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon. Afternoon.
Audrey, may I come to you?
Yes.
You know, as I come into your presence, the steps that you're taking right now and your progression and development are very strong. And the confidence and security that's going to be igniting within you in the days to come are going to be present. And you're going to be giving out more information about development, and also people are going to start coming to you and asking you questions about doing things. So you don't figure out how to do them, you just do them. And you say the words. When you're talking, you don't know what you're talking about, keep on talking, but then people will understand. I'll leave that with you, and God bless you.
Thank you.
Tim, may I come to you?
Yes, please.
Tim, as I come into your presence today, I see balance, a symbol of balance here with you. And whatever you do to balance yourself, do that. There's all kinds of different ways. Sometimes it's doing something different than you've done before. But I do see balance in here, and that there's more vitality being ignited for some of the activities that are coming up for you in the very near future. And the vitality will be there when the time is for it to be there. And just know that you'll be able to accomplish things. I'll leave that with you, and God bless you.
Thank you.
That's Deb. That's Ed. Carolyn.
Carolyn, may I come to you?
Please do.
Carolyn, as I come into your presence today, I see enlightenment with you. And you're actually going to feel lighter when you communicate with other people, and there's some activities coming up that you're going to be able to do, and you're going to feel much more lighter, and you're going to be much more confident and secure with that too. There are some things that are getting ready to present themselves to you that at first are going to be a little bit unclear, but it won't take long. It'll be all clear. And your clarity will help you in the development that you've been doing. And you'll be much more confident and secure on the thoughts that you have and the conditions that are going on within you. You're being more enlightened with yourself, so keep on doing that. I'll leave it with you, and God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend David. Our next medium will be Reverend Ernestina. Deb, Irene, Bob, and Ed, and Reverend David and Christy.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Irene, may I come to you today?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Irene, as I come to you today, I keep hearing this song, and it's sort of really weird because this was in a movie that I watched on TV not too long ago called Jericho. And in that film, there's this African-American man who goes around singing something about he's got 27 angels around him that are always protecting him and watching over him and taking care of him. And that's exactly what I sense and feel around you. It's almost as if you've got this joyful group of, as we would call here in the chapel, your band of helpers, healers, and angels that are watching you at all times. And it creates such joy, not just for them, but for you as well. And I think that's a wonderful gift that you have, to be able to have all of that wonderful group of beings around you. And I leave that with you.
Much.
Bob is his name. Bob, may I come to you?
Yes, please do.
As I come to you today, Bob, I see this, it's like you're opening this door, and that door is opening a path for a much stronger spiritual path that you have actually been creating and working on. But in doing so with your meditation and silence, you have actually been able to ignite a much stronger path. And that also is a joy and a wonderful path for you to move forward to. And I leave that with you. Blessings.
Yes, thank you.
And then we have
Deb and David and Christy.
Ed, may I come to you today?
Yes, please.
And I even said the correct name, my. As I come to you today, Ed, I see you actually really spending quiet time reading, but this time as you read, it's almost as if you have one of your helpers right there with you, very close to you, helping you ignite the true messages within you that will propel you into a much better spiritual path. And this path is an exciting path for you because it's something that you have been working on and searching for. But the more time that you actually spend in meditation and silence, you will realize that it's actually all within you and it's always been there for you. And when you get that message, it will create such joy for you and it will help you stay on that path. And I leave that with you. God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rev Ernestina. I'll be the next medium. Deb, may I come to you? Deb.
Yes, thank you.
So it wasn't a mistake on these beautiful animals that the photo and the message. This is definitely a connection for you in the spirit world with all of the ancestry. And this feeling of, many females in that group, there is this really warm and loving connection there. And when you're in that space, that's a really beautiful way to expand that consciousness and the beauty of the things that you are doing and practicing and creating. Going there first, before you actually go into a meditation or before you do your practices or your teachings, the things that you do on a regular basis, even your work, your healing, going into that feeling of the ancestry and really feeling the love is going to expand you, and you'll be able to get these other messages as well of future things to assist. So I leave that with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Reverend David, may I come to you?
Please do.
I'm seeing all these violets everywhere, and it's just interesting because you're wearing that purple. So the violets, it's like your helpers here are saying take the walk through the violets. What the violets bring and what that energy brings of those flowers. And I'm seeing you going, like doing the infinity again. Like there's that symbol is like really in connection for you. And you're going in and out of this beautiful array of violets. And what this brings to your being is your next steps of your opening and expanding of this chapel. So if there are none in this area, definitely go there in your silence. And I leave that with you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Christy, may I come to you?
Yes, please.
Okay, so breath is really important this next week. There are some things that could get that the breath a little tight, a little uneasy feeling, or just being in a hurry, or being busy. And so what I'm getting here is like really utilizing breath exercises and making sure that you're spending more time in the meditation this week, having that very deep low belly and high chest to be able to release it off to the universe. There's some things that just to let go now. There's like some things that are just kind of present there. It's just like sitting on the chest and it wants to go. And so spending time with that would be really good. I leave that with you.
Thank you.
Blessings. Thank you. I want to thank each and every one of you all for being here today at Fellowship Chapel. We normally stand and hold hands and sing "Let There Be Love," and so you know what it's like nowadays. Christy's going to be playing on the piano, and I will give you the words here in just a moment. And we'll all just go sing "Let There Be Love." Give me 1 second, Christy. There we go. Can you guys see all that? Okay, we're all set. Let there be love on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be love on earth, a love that was meant to be.
God has it all for me. Let
I want to give thanks to each and every one of you for being here again, and we'll do our closing prayer. Mother, Father, God, we give thanks for your presence here today and each and every one. We ask for your infinite protection to be with us as we go on our path. So when we meet those on our passage, we share the love that is so abundant. We give thanks for this day. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, everybody. I'll turn you around. You can say hello to everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Oh,
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Be safe and well.
Yes.
love you all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay.
I'd like to do the list.
Thank you, Christy, for that. Beautiful. Oh, thanks.
That was, you're singing and the music helps it get through it.
Oh, thank you. It was a surprise when you asked me to
Oh, was it? Yeah. You're in already. That's it. We're in each class. We have those mediums. You're in there.
Okay, I better prepare then.
Yeah.
You were prepared today.
You were.
I didn't feel like I was prepared at all.
Well, that's what you were.
Totally. You were.
Okay.
If you weren't prepared, you wouldn't have said it.
Yeah, I just, it's interesting. It's totally different kind of nervousness than when I was performing.
Mhm.
It's totally a separate thing. I just,
Have a good week.
You too, Tim. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
yeah, just,
I didn't get you guys yet. Irene and Bob, it's great seeing you guys.
Hi, David.
Bye,
Bye.
Dave.
Take care.
Have a good week.
You too.
Stay safe out there.
Yes.
You too.
Okay.
Let's get this.
so how is your moving going? Are you in?
Very slow, very, very, very slow. And
Well, you have so
I'm
many
getting-
other things going